What's going on, you guys? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV,
Shay Renee Online.
and we're about to see who was wrong. All right, you guys, this is another episode of Who Was Wrong, and I have one of my favorite people on the side of me today, and that is Miss Shay Renee Online, y'all. I love her.
What's up, y'all? I love you too, Scott.
and um and I'm still congested. Ugh, I can't even laugh like I want to. But however, we're here to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac's Gizelle Bryant and Monique Samuels. Now, every time I do these, I always allow the person that I'm doing it with to pick which feud they want to do. So, as I always do, I have to ask you, out of all the ones on the list, why did you have to choose Gizelle versus Monique?
Because Gizelle is just a fraud, and everybody wants to call Monique Goonique and all this, that, and the third. And I just
Mhm.
feel like she just gets under my skin. So I just had to pick this one.
But you know what's so crazy is that when Potomac first started, I liked Giselle. Isn't that crazy?
You know what? I will say, because I live in the area.
Hmm.
Doing like a radio tour, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna like her. And I did like her first season. But then when Monique came, it was just like, girl, you are just sad.
I think that's what it was for a lot of us because when it first started, I liked Giselle but couldn't stand Charisse. And I
Mm,
felt like Charisse was really giving Giselle the blues back then. But
yeah.
then season two, I still didn't like Charisse. But I could not stand Giselle by the time Monique came along. I just felt like she was trying to be like a bully schoolgirl or some shit like that. Like it just felt like, oh, you the type of person that can't sit at the lunch table with us and all this other shit. That's how it came across to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of glad that you chose this. Because it just gave me a chance to really just go in on Giselle, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm just try to stay the course and just talk about this shit versus just going in on her ass. But so what would you say was the starting point with Giselle versus Monique? Where would you say this whole thing started at? Because a lot of people have their own interpretation as to where the feud sparked from. What did you say it sparked from? I want to know if we think the same thing.
Child, four homes. It was four. Mm, 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 mm.
I think the same thing.
Soon as baby came on the screen and said, no, I have. She said, oh, so you have two homes. No, I have four homes. Bill and her rent a house was pissed off and over there just seething in her granny panties. I said, girl, what? Why are you mad at how many dwellings this lady got?
Right.
But I just think that Gizelle is one of those people that she just is just naturally not happy in her life. And she just wants to, as she's shown season after season, she just wants to make everybody else as miserable as her and point out everybody else's imperfections. And it's sad for you to be this old. You supposed to be the previous first lady, but you acting like the very last lady. Indeed.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Straight like that.
I always felt like it started with the four homes thing. I felt like I felt like she knew from the very beginning that I'm gonna target her. We don't really know her like that. I know the rest of these women. Some of us have a history of or rapport with one another, so we don't really know her. So I'm
Mhm.
finna, and she younger than all of us, so I'm finna see what I can do because I'm gonna go in on her. Because to be honest, if you really think about it, the first season, that's how she treated Ashley.
This is true. This is true.
Now
Mm-hmm.
that I think about it, because now that we're talking about it, I was like, yeah, she kind of did Ashley like that. Now that we think about it, she treated Ashley like that.
Well, you know, Giselle has been historically wishy washy anyway, because it really was funny to me. You brought up Sharice for an example.
Mhm.
To me that she is now buddy buddy with Sharice, but you was dogging Shorty in the beginning, saying, "Oh, where the fireman at?" Trying to air her out or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, Sharice, you must really be pressed to get back on this show for you to totally gloss over that fact and the fact she was in her house, her and her friend Cal and the crab situation and all of that. You in this woman's house acting like you trying to help her, but then you talking crap about her in her house at her event. It's like, do you have any loyalty to anybody besides Robin? And I don't even think she got loyalty to Robin either.
I say that all the time. I be
Mm-mm.
like, we be thinking that she got loyalty to that lady, but she really don't. Like, she ain't got no loyalty to that lady. She,
I'm very kind of Monique had her faults as well.
mm-hmm.
I think that Giselle, with the whole situation with Candace, I think that Monique misdirected her anger toward her.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I didn't see it that way at first because all I thought about because as I sit here, like I think I said it on the last who was wrong that I did. I think I was talking to either it was either Jeremy Speaks or Tammy Talks because I did it. I've done it with those two as of as of recent. I filmed with those two. I want to say I said it with one of them. I said when I'm doing these who was wrong, I'm starting to think about things now, and my opinions are kind of changing. And I guess it's an age thing because a lot of the ways I thought about these feuds at first when they were happening, I don't see it like that anymore. And so during that time with Monique and Candace, it was just me thinking, well, I felt like they were both wrong in the situation. Like I felt like Candace kind of egged it on, but Monique took it to a whole nother level. But at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, she was still mad at Giselle. In the
Right,
same breath, she wanted to be friends with Giselle. In the same breath, she
right.
was sitting up here like making up with Giselle all this season. And that's the thing that really confused me by the time Monique's last season came around. You claim that this lady was trying to destroy your marriage and tell lies on you, your husband, your child, but yet you sit here having afternoon lunches with her,
Right,
listening to what she's saying about Candace, who is supposedly your real friend, and
right.
you want to be cool with her. And you know what? That's another thing that a lot of people have said, and I'm gonna ask you this.
Hmm.
A lot of people have said Monique wanted to be friends with Giselle so bad. Do you believe that Monique wanted to be her friend bad? And if you think that, why do you think she wanted to be Giselle's friend?
Well, I don't know necessarily be her friend bad, but I think that Monique has a level of elitist like personality where she has to. Oh my God, is that damn fish tank making that noise? That is crazy. But we gonna talk.
Right.
I don't know how to stop that, but
Okay.
I think Monique, she wanted to be that girl. You know what I mean? I think she
Hmm.
on the show and just really be like that girl. And I think that to be that girl, she felt like, oh, okay, I need to be friends with the main chick, which is Giselle. And I think that she's smart enough to know that um the network has some stock in Giselle. So
Hmm.
that being said, she's like, okay, well, let me try to be friends with her. But then you pushing Candace off to the side, and that's supposed to be your friend. But then again, with Candace, you sitting down having lunches or brunches, whatever you doing, and you clearly see that they're about to be on here talking about this girl's child and make it up that her husband is cheating. I mean, she cheating and she's sleeping with her trainer and all this, that, and the third. You instead of you going and telling your friend, you go and tell Karen, saying, "Oh, I knew Karen was going to tell her." What was going on in your relationship where you couldn't just directly tell her yourself? And I had
Hmm.
seen them. I remember Candy had came here to do the dungeon tour. And
Hmm.
friends had went to the tour, we were up in the VIP section where they were. And they were over there just a partying it up, having a good old time. And then this happens as the season started, where the whole situation with Candace and her kind of dissolving their relationship. And I just thought it was just real crazy how the turn of events went.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would say that Giselle was a big part of her relationship with Monique's relationship with Candace deteriorating.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they both got played.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think Giselle all that like companionship for some reason. And I think that, and it wasn't really, she wasn't really going to get anything out of Monique being gone because Candace was still going to be there. But then we see what she did as the season evolved with Candace. Now it's like, okay, now we're going to mess with Candace and her relationship. So it's just like, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't with Giselle. It's like, okay, it's my turn now. So
But why do you think that Giselle really hates Monique? Because I feel like she hate the girl. Because even rewatching old seasons, I was rewatching the old seasons on Peacock, and even season 3, I remember her making a comment when Candace first came along. She was like, "I really like this girl. I like her energy. I like her better than some people by the name of Monique Samuels." And I was just like, "Why do you not like what exactly did Monique do to you for you not to like her?"
I have no clue. I think it's just jealousy. I think it's
Mhm.
the fact that she was able to come into the group and evolve so quickly. Even though Monique talked too daggone much, if you ask. She just talked too. I remember I ain't like Monique in the beginning because she just talked too damn much. But
Mhm.
and I even knew Monique before, like when her and Chris Samuels had first got married. My parents owned a delivery service, and they used to move Chris and Monique back and forth from Alabama to their brand new houses. And that was, my mother used to tell me stories about Monique and how she was acting. That was just a whole SHI show. But
Mhm.
just kind of knowing, being familiar with her personality, she's very elitist. She talks a lot. She is very full of herself in some instances. And I think that Gizelle probably didn't, she ain't like that. Cause she like, girl, I'm full of me. I can't be, you get full of you.
Mm.
This my show. I gotta unplug this because this gonna bother me. Give me, I'm gonna get off.
Okay, I'm pause it. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's just one of those things where I think, like I said, Giselle is jealous. I don't know why she's jealous of various women on the cast. I think it's multiple people that she has issues with, and it's just not reasonable. Um,
Mhm.
I think that even though her position is not necessarily, I don't think she feels like it's a threat for her to lose her spot. She still doesn't want anybody to have more attention than her.
Mm. So, um, I still be trying to figure it out, cause you never know who Giselle really likes. I'm sorry, who she really likes, or who she really does like. You never really know,
Mhm.
and I just know that when it came down to Monique, she was hating really, really hard, and she never stopped it. And I felt like when it came down to it, like you said, Giselle is the type of person that wants the attention on her, but Monique ain't no different because she wants the attention on her ass too. And I feel like attention starving motherfuckers ain't gonna get along. And I think that they were more alike than they were willing to let on. You know
I
what I mean?
And you know what? In a sixth sense of thinking or of interaction, I feel like they actually would have been better together than apart.
Mm,
I feel like if Giselle had have embraced Monique, it would have actually made the show even better. I think that everybody has to have their arch nemesis or whatever. But Giselle, you were just at a point where you was just at everybody's throat but Robin, you know. And even with Robin, she kind of threw her under the bus a little bit because I think Giselle with the whole Robin situation, she brought it up on camera because she didn't want to be held accountable for Robin not doing what she was supposed to do by talking about it on the show. So she wanted to be able to say, "Well, I brought it up." She didn't want to expand upon it, you know. But
mm-hmm.
here nor there because Robin ass is gone. But yeah, Monique, she was very flip floppy too because one minute you was friends with Charisse, and then you saying you Charisse, what did she call her? She had a name for her. But anyway, you had the whole situation where you try to bring that woman on the show to piss Gizelle off when Gizelle was messing with Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like y'all just be doing stuff to each other. But that whole scene where I loved that when Monique was so unbothered after the whole fight scene, and they were sitting down and Giselle comes in with security trying to blow it up like Genghis Khan. Monique was like, okay, you can, she was like, I don't want to be around you. Giselle was like, I don't want to be around you. And she was like, oh well, you can go. All right. Um
I loved it. I
like,
loved it because I guess she wanted Monique to beg her to,
yeah,
to keep her in the group and things like that. And I think that's the problem with Giselle. I think that when these girls come on this show, I think a lot of them feel like they gotta kiss her ass a lot of the times because I
yeah,
mean, because a lot of these girls did start off being cool, except Monique. A lot
mm,
of these girls did start out being cool with Giselle, and then when they started to see how much of a puppy dog they look like,
yeah,
they decided, nah, we ain't finna do this. Nah, I'm not finna do that. You know what I mean? So, and then once they realized that, she gets all up in her feelings. But,
yeah.
but why you in your feelings though? Like everybody ain't gonna be up your ass forever.
No, and Giselle just still thinks that she's on Hampton University's campus as Big Sister Almighty. Everybody is not fawning after you, ma'am. Get out of your sorority, jig. It's not cute. Nobody cares. You're too old for that,
You can't tell me that she wasn't a complete asshole when she was going to college. You cannot tell me she wasn't.
baby. She was hazing all around that campus, in my opinion. I
I
feel
believe it.
you
I
was
believe it.
whipping, you was doing all the things. I can just imagine that's what she was doing. But the reality is, what kind of what kind of woman is following somebody like that? You know what I mean? How low is your self-esteem? That's what some women gotta ask themselves. Why you following a thick leg, non-dressing, can't read, old bag of dust like Giselle? Why am I pressed to be her friend? What can you offer me? Mm, tragic.
I mean, you got a point. I mean, what exactly does she have that anybody really wants? I mean, she's a pretty girl. She's a
And
beautiful lady.
that's the problem. You leaning on your looks all your life. It's a lot of people that look good but ain't good people, and that's that on that. So, I mean, girl, I mean, let's be real. I'm about to turn 39 in July. I'm a little. I just seen it with people with the green eyes and the blue. That's a unique thing when you're black. But girl, people be getting contacts and stuff now to play that game. Like that ain't even the most attractive thing about people no more. So you got to get at a. That's not an attribute everybody pressed over no more. I'm just saying.
Well, the green eyes never did nothing for me. I'm just being
Me
honest.
neither. Mm-mm.
Just saying. So here's another thing too, because I talked a bit about Giselle on Who Was Wrong. I think it was it Nikki Star? Yeah, Nikki Star. Me and her did Giselle and Wendy and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to like how she started off not really that good with Candace, but they wound up being cool. But then ultimately they fell out really, really bad. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's the same thing with Wendy. They was cool, but Giselle started talking about her man and they fell out really, really bad. What do you think? Do you think that Giselle is that's a part of Giselle's like tactic is to be cool with these girls, then fall out with these girls real bad, and every time she falls out with these girls, they never come back from it. Like she can fall out with Karen all day. They can go back and forth and they'll be cool again. But the people like Monique or Candace or Wendy, they never come back from it. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because Giselle has no story. So
Mm,
this is how she keeps people from pinpointing the fact that she has no storyline. Her
mm,
messing with Karen's marriage, that's not entertaining because at the end of the day, the public loves Karen. So you can try to pick with Karen all you want. She's not going to be anybody that they're going to take off the show, right? These
mm.
other women in her mind are disposable. So it's like, okay, this is how I remain entertaining. This has become my shtick. So I am going to do this so nobody can dig into my life. You know, everybody was talking about past the penis all day long, but now he marry some damn body else. So you made a fool of yourself with him and paid him under the table to come and pretend like he loved you again for no reason. Now you over here looking dumb as hell.
Not pay him under the table.
Yeah, it was a quick little pass under the table at I okay.
She said pay him under the table.
Cause that right there, we could see right through how ridiculously fake that was. There was no chemistry. That scene when they was in the car when she was taking him to the airport, I was like, baby, y'all look like two parents that's just like, dang, I can't. He looking like I can't wait till I ain't got to pay no child support to this bitch no more. Like it didn't even look like y'all each other. He probably had a whole sermon about how he don't really like it. I'm pretty sure he did. But yeah, Giselle and the other women, her falling out with them, that's just her shtick. That's her way to avoid everybody learning anything about her. Like we just found out the bitch had a sister.
Right.
So
So when it comes to this feud, what parts do you think Monique played in this feud?
I think Monique played a part by being fake at certain points. I feel like Monique um she misdirected her anger. She
Mm-hmm.
have stayed on Giselle. I don't appreciate you basically. Now listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't doubt that she fucked the trainer. I don't doubt it. But clearly that little boy is not no trainers. That's Chris Samuel's kid through and through.
Mm-hmm.
Rest. I feel like Monique is just guilty of being fake, like not saying what she really feels, not dealing with her emotions properly. I think Monique also, even though she was friends with Candace, I feel like Monique didn't like how bratty Candace was. And I think Candace probably annoyed her, which she has annoyed a lot of us. Like I think Monique didn't appreciate Candace elitist, privileged attitude. You know, her mama was doing this and that and the third for her, which I can appreciate. I don't know why people be hating on that. Cause hell, if my parents was rich, I'm gonna be some rich parents for my son. He can get whatever he want. That's what we supposed to be doing, building generational wealth for our children. But I think that bothered a lot of people in the cast, the way that Candace would just boast about it somewhat. And just how it just came out in her personality. She just acted very like nobody can uncheckable, you
But
know.
see, the thing is with that, if Monique was bothered by Candace's way of growing up, then is she bothered by the way she raising her kids? Because she raising her kids the same damn way. That's what
Right.
I don't understand. That's what I don't understand about these women on this show. Y'all gave this girl a hard time
Yeah,
about how she grew up, and y'all raising y'all kids the same damn way.
exactly. I don't even know why it was talked about her parents doing things for her. That's what we all work to do for our kids. Be able
Yeah.
to provide them with things that we didn't have and make sure they don't have to struggle. But then y'all want to get on her about it. But you Ashley, you over here trying to stay married to damn the crypt keeper so that you can keep some money for your little children. But you went on Candace about it. It's just all these women are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So what okay. So when it come down to this feud,
Hmm.
the ultimate question is who was wrong? Was it Giselle? Was it Monique? Or is it a draw?
I'm gonna lean on Giselle. Because, and here's the reason why I'm gonna lean on her, because Giselle put she put all the BS in the mix.
from the beginning.
Excuse me. She was the one that drummed up the whole trainer situation, which started all the stuff. If Candace didn't have to go to some brunch and hear all of that, it wouldn't have happened. Giselle pulling Monique's collar during the fight, and Monique thinking it was Candace.
Hmm.
She's the culprit.
In a sense, I want to say Giselle, but in some other way, I also want to say that they kind of both, Giselle and Monique, kind of played parts in this situation too, because Giselle did start it. Like Giselle started this whole beef from the very beginning. Monique did nothing to Giselle when she first came on here. Giselle started this shit. Okay. I will say that at some point, Monique got with Sharice. They brought Kendall on this show just to fuck with Giselle.
Yeah,
And then not too long after that, Giselle cooked up this whole you're fucking the trainer, you're fucking the trainer, you're fucking the trainer, all this other. So I feel like they both did things to each other, with Giselle starting the shit and Monique retaliating, and then Giselle getting mad and she it's just
I will say Monique, Giselle started it, but Monique finished it, baby, at that reunion.
yeah, her last reunion, she definitely finished it.
She read the entire hell out of Giselle, and Giselle just sat there looking dumbfounded.
It was needed though.
Classic.
It was needed. It was
Mm.
definitely needed. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you for coming on here with me, even though my ass is sick. But thank you for coming on here.
Well, thank you for having me. You know, I always love to have a little kiki with you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. For those of you who don't watch, have never watched Shay Renee Online's channel, she talks about Love Mary Charlesville. She has a panel on her show called the Unbiased Panel with Deep Conversations with Sean. I highly suggest y'all watch that. They're absolutely hilarious together.
I appreciate it.
So you go ahead and tell the people what they should look forward to on your page if they haven't been there.
Oh, well, you just look forward to having a good old time with your good sis that's gonna say everything that you thinking in your head. I'm gonna say it out my mouth. And whether it come out crazy or not, you gonna hear it and we gonna laugh and have a good old time.
All right, then. Well, that's about it, you guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all. Is it over? Is it done? No, oh shit, I ain't even press in recording.